Hey y'all, it's me, Steph, the colorful Metalsmith, and I'm here to show you my number one tools that I like to have with me at all times. So let's get into it. I always like to have plenty of masking tape. I usually have it in a variety of sizes. I also like to have a gauge plate. I got these at a conference, a snack conference one year. So those are really handy. I'll probably get a bigger one at some point. You could see on the table I have my apron. It's always good to have an apron so that you don't get messy. Oh, here's a close-up of the gauge plate. It has both the steel gauges and non-ferrous metals. I have a variety of saw blades. Sorry, not saw blades, saw frames. What's that? We have the Big Belly from Green Lion. I have my hot pink saw frame from, oh my gosh, Line Punch Forge. Oh my gosh. I have the mini Green Lion, the original Green Lion. I have this little jar to catch all my silver dust. It once held a Gugon. My awesome Green Lion solder pick to match my Haymaker saw frame. I don't know why that was so hard for me to remember. Let's see what we have next. Oop, can you see a theme here? I have my kerf saw blade holder, and in this one I just put the main saw blades that I use the most. But what is really great about this is that it has all the different types of saw blades labeled out and what metal is good for each, or what saw blade is good to cut each type of metal. And then I just got this is it bore or Bori? Drill bit holder, which is a big game changer because I had this really nice drill bit holder from Rio, but this is really nice for on the go. So I transferred all my drill bits into this little guy. Nice soft brass brush for cleaning. Oh, these are the cutest little jump ring mandrels I've ever seen. I love them so much. I'm sure they'll get a lot of use. I got these from Amazon. I just thought they were the cutest little guys. I actually bought 2 sets of them because knowing me, I'm likely to misplace one. So, or let a student borrow them. So, I bought 2. You can see how many saw frames I have. And I actually have 3 of the kerf saw blade holders. So I like to buy multiples just in case. Digital caliper. I actually need to get a new one. I always find those handy for scoring metal and for stones. I always have some Rio Burr Life or Pepe Lube. I think I also have the Green Lion saw soap with me. Let's put some things back so we can make room on the table now. You could see all the goodies that I have. And I'm always adding things. Usually files or saw frames. I know that I said that this was my ride or die set, but I like sawing, okay? I have added, since filming this, I have actually added more tape, masking tape, to my strap over there. So I like to use the tape for getting the width around the stones, the circumference for stone setting. So I just find it's just helpful to have different widths of tape. Yeah, just having tape on hand is just useful for everyday things. So, all right, I just got this new set of files, the set of Dick files. Dick files. I believe these are number 4 or 5. I'll put everything in the notes so that, you know, I just treated myself to some new hand files. It's always good to have a different cut files, so when you're filing down to, you know, finer things, and you just want a really nice smooth edge. Usually I start with, oh there, see, number 5. Usually I start with a number 2 cut file to remove the bulk of the material, and then I'll go down to a finer cut file to get a really nice surface, a nice edge. I think this set of files was $80 on RioGrande, if I remember correctly. And then this case here is a case for knitting needles, and I just am using it to hold my files. That way they don't rust when I'm in the studio, or if I have to leave my tools in my car for any reason. So I have my number 2 cut files that I've had for a very long time. These 2 number 2 cuts I've had since I was in undergrad. The wider one I don't use as much, but the other one I use all the time. That's my trusty file. And then I got some new, this is a new file that I got. This is a checkering file, so it leaves more of a texture, and that's number 2 as well. So if you want more of a texture as you're filing, you know, for more of an aesthetic look, you can use a checkering file. You can watch me struggle if you like. This one is a number 4 cut file. I just need to get some handles for these. Or I can use the wood handles that I have on my other files, just change them out. These are some needle files. These are some of my nicer needle files that I have. Number 2. And then I just recently got these little emery sanding sanding files, sandpaper sticks. I forgot how they advertise them. I got them through Rio, and they have different grits on each side. And these guys over here, I bought from Rio, oh wow, when I was in college, and I tried to get them again, and they either discontinued them, I believe, or I think since they changed the website, I couldn't find them. So the ones on the left closest to the files, those ones are like a really, really fine grit, and then going towards the other end, those are more, a different grit sandpaper. So, those are really nice for polishing and sanding. Sometimes I even forget that I have them. I should utilize those more. So that's why I put them in my go-to, so that I would use those some more, because they're really nice tools. I put a ring sizer on my bag, so that way I would just have one at all times. I think that's really useful, especially, when I'm teaching, and if I need it to be easily accessible and can't find one in the studio. Oh, you need to have a towel. I use my towel a lot. Oh, here. This is a really handy sheet that Green Lion sent me. It tells you what each saw blade is, what it corresponds to, which metal gauge, and I believe it also has the drill bit, which drill bit corresponds to which saw blade. This Sunburst kit by Dedico, this is my travel cleaning kit. I find that it's really handy. I have 2 Milwaukee pack out boxes that I have dedicated mostly, like, solely for cleaning tools, like for the flex shaft. So I have a lot more of the, rubber wheels and bristle wheels between Dedico and 3M. Those are the brands that I'd say that I trust the most. And Evo, I hope I'm saying that correctly. In these kits or pouches, these are meant to hold crochet hooks, but I thought they were really handy for my jump ring mandrels that I use a lot because I like to make chain. And yeah, it's not perfect, but it works well. I also have my miter jig. I like to keep some needles, like those big eye needles, because you never know. Sometimes we do like multimedia work. It's always good to have just some needles on hand. I also have some small mandrels, different shaped mandrels. I have a triangle, a teardrop, square, a star shape, a heart shape, and I think I loaned my oval to someone because my oval is missing. Oh yeah, I have a rectangle. cool. So these are very useful for bezels, or when I teach chain making classes, so you can make different types of jump rings, like different shaped jump rings. So I always like to keep those on hand. My miter jig, I have just like a little basic miter jig, a little ruler. I also keep a big 18-inch ruler with me. Oh, a scribe. So it has nice sharp points, and for scoring or drawing on your metal. Yeah. Those are the needles. And then this is a prong lifter in case you need to lift up some prongs, take a stone out of a setting, mess something up. Another oh, these are nice metal cutting shears that were gifted to me. Oh, these are the best pliers. I have 2 sets of them. They're my Lindstrom flat nose pliers. I would love to get the big set of them. And then these are prong pliers for stone setting. And then some Lindstrom flush cutters that only cut up to 18 gauge. This is a chuck. I forgot the type of bit. One of my friends got that for me, the bit that's in there. And I just use that to deburr after drilling. So I'll have to get the name of that bit. It's from McMaster Car, I know that. And then the big handheld like chuck thing was from Amazon. So I'll have to look up what that is actually called. And I'll put that in the notes. It's not called a handheld chuck thing. I know that for sure. Oh, I have a lot of files. Okay. So I have a lot of files that I consider like not so great, that are just for like, you know, removing metal. And then I have tiny micro, these are, I have some more tiny files. Okay, the other ones were diamond files, so you could file back and forth. It's like sandpaper. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what happened to that one. Sometimes I lend students tools, and you never know what state they'll come back to you. That's okay. I could get new ones. So I bought some of these diamond files. Usually I'll get at like Harbor Freight or Ace Hardware. I even got some from Temu, to be honest. And then some miscellaneous saw blades. So I don't know, when things get mixed up, I just keep them separated from everything else. So I'll figure it out later. But it's just good to keep them, you know. But yeah, it's good to have some rougher files for removing, you know, more material faster. And then I'll go in with my finer files. And I also, like, if I'm working with gold versus silver, or like definitely gold versus copper, brass, nickel, or whatever, I'll use separate files. There are these fine cut files from Contenti that I really like, that I highly recommend, and I'll list them in the notes. So I usually keep a pair of flush cutters in my apron, round nose pliers, flat nose pliers. I have since unfortunately lost these half round pliers. See, I have 2 pairs of flush cutters. I have ones that cut up to 16 gauge, one that cut up to 18 gauge, and I keep a ton of Sharpies because I'm always losing them or giving them out to people. Usually I carry some solder, and I'll have random tools that I probably need to put back somewhere. But I always have my apron with me. You could see that, there's a little burn mark on there. It's seen better days. I'd rather have my apron on than get something on my clothes or burn myself. So I recommend getting an apron. Oh, I guess I haven't shown... Did I not show my nice files yet? Oh, okay. So I also have these half round pliers, which are nice. They're curved on one side and flat on the other. And then I have some more prong pliers for setting stones. And then I have these flat locking pliers. One pair locks, the other one doesn't. These are really nice, strong pliers. Oh, and then I have some more diamond files. These ones are round. Just keep finding diamond files. You can never have too many files. Like, you could never have too many shoes or purses. Oh, okay. I got these little silicone finger protectors, and I have some leather ones. And then a student of mine gave me these fabric ones. The silicone ones I got from Temu. They actually work pretty well. So yeah, sometimes it's good to have like some finger protection when you're sanding or doing other things in the studio. You never want to have like full-on gloves when you're using rotary tools, because things like that can get caught. But I like to have finger protectors, when I'm doing small things, so that, I don't sand my finger pad off or something like that. Oh, yeah, I always have pencils, Sharpies, rubber, cement, erasers, just basic drawing stuff. And I always use rubber cement to attach my design, or adhere my design to my sheet of metal. Super glue is always really helpful, especially if you want to saw through 2 sheets of metal at the same time. Oh, this is a really nice little tiny blade. Looks like a pen, but it's a blade. I keep that with me if I need to cut things. Also an X-Acto knife. But yeah, the rubber cement is really, or sorry, super glue I like to use if I'm sawing the same thing out and I need it like doubled up. That comes out really, it's really helpful. The acrylic piece that I pulled out, that was a center finder from PepeTools. Just lots of drawing utensils, yeah. Oh, that all fit in there. Well, it's probably kind of lengthy. If you have any questions, just let me know. Again, these are just like my ride or die basic tools that I carry with me at all times. These are things like I always like to have on my person. You know, I know that there will be other tools in whatever studio I am in or at. So, but you know, there's nothing like your own personal tool. So I'd probably add like a hammer or two, but I can update that later if I decide. So yeah, thanks for watching and keep on smithing.